Hey everybody, welcome to Review a Day, episode number 159. I'm Leland Brungart. Thank you guys for joining me again. I saw a couple films over the last week, none of which I had a very strong reaction to, so I'll just give a quick rundown of some things I saw. I saw Julie and Julia. I thought Meryl Streep was great. I thought she was fun. I thought the movie was a little boring, a little lifeless for me personally. I know a lot of people enjoyed it. I didn't think Meryl Streep's performance alone was enough for me to really enjoy the film, so I would say wait for HBO, wait for it to be on demand. G.I. Joe, I saw that. It was better than Transformers, I would say, but just a lot of noise. Didn't really have that great of a time. I saw the movie Paper Heart, which I'm going to be reviewing for you guys tomorrow. That's the documentary, mockumentary thing with Charlene Yi and Michael Cera. And in the next couple days, I'm going to be seeing Ponyo, which I'm so excited for. Hayao Miyazaki, one of my favorite directors. As promised on the Nitpick It podcast, I'm seeing The Time Traveler's Wife. And on Tuesday, I'm hopefully going to run up to Seattle and see Chan-wook Park's newest film, Thirst, which, Chan-wook Park, one of my favorites. I cannot wait to see that flick. The film I'm reviewing for you guys today, though, is District 9, and this is the new sci-fi film. It's directed by a South African director, first-time director Neil Blomkamp. And this is the movie that it starts off as a mockumentary kind of about these aliens who landed on Earth. They were malnourished, and they had to be brought down to Earth, and they're kind of forced into these small shanty towns in South Africa. And then the South African government decides, we don't want these people here anymore. We can't keep supporting them. They decide they're going to ship them away to a different place and kind of put them into a concentration camp. District 9, I think, has a really intelligent, heady pitch to it. Like, that film that is in the trailer is really interesting, and that movie, and that part of the movie of District 9 is probably the first 15 to 20 minutes, is this really kind of great, classic, it's very Orwellian style sci-fi story, where, you know, we can take a step back and it's aliens instead of a real people, and so we can kind of look at it a different way, which is something I love, and I think something that all great sci-fi does. Unfortunately, and kind of fortunately, a couple things happen. I think it abandons that kind of heady stuff, and it becomes, after that, a really just pretty damn fun Peter Jackson gore fest. I think it's very appropriate that Peter Jackson is presenting this film, or that he's the producer, because it feels a lot like, it feels very similar to me anyways, to something like Bad Taste or Dead Alive. It has a very one-upmanship in its gore fun. It has this quality of The Fly into it. At one point, the main character gets infected and he starts mutating. And there's a lot of great, gross mutation scenes where his fingernails are coming off and his teeth are falling out. By the end of this movie, there's all this alien technology that just obliterates people. Like, they just are vaporized. You know, that's not the movie that it was kind of pitched at in those first 15 to 20 minutes, which is fine because I kind of got my fix of that in the beginning, and well, ultimately that's not what this film really is, because by the end, I mean, there are scenes that you've seen 1,000 times. By the end of this movie, there's so many cliches. There's the cigar-chomping general who wants to kill everything. You know, there is a moment where there's the guy, the main character, Vicus, who I think was great. The guy gives a damn good performance. He's funny in the beginning, and he ends up being kind of the hero. He teams up with this alien character who speaks in clicky tongues, very much kind of an African dialect, which I thought was kind of cool. But they're like, you know, go on without me, man. Like, we never leave anyone behind. Like, this really cliche kind of war dialogue. And I don't think it's nearly as unique and fresh as those first little bits of the movie did. It definitely loses it, and it becomes very typical sci-fi space drama, melodrama kind of deal. One thing I do think that this film kind of failed on, I don't think failed on, but it's something I'm going to compare it to Battlestar Galactica, and I tried not to, but Battlestar Galactica gets something really great, which is it gets you to identify with the other side much more than I think District 9 does. With most of District 9, there was only one character, or there's only like the two alien characters that you really cared about, and all of the rest of them were very senseless and they would rip humans apart. But one thing that I think Battlestar Galactica gets really right was that the most of the villains on Battlestar Galactica, the Cylons, they look human and they think they're human. They're they're Cylons, but they were programmed to believe they're human. And I think one thing that all great classic sci-fi really deals with is what it is to be human. And I think District 9 alludes to it, but the ending of District 9 I don't think really says much. It's a very kind of Independence Day ending to a film. I don't think it's as I wish there was more gracefulness or I don't know. I wish there was something better to the ending. I can't really figure out what it is at this point, but I wish I was left with more questions than a badass sci-fi film. I wish I was left wanting more. But District 9 is a fucking blast. People explode in this movie. I liked it a lot. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I definitely think it's one of the funnest movies of the summer that you're going to see. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.